If you're wanting to manufacture your fashion designs, then you're going to need something called a technical drawing. In this video, I want to explain what a technical drawing is exactly, how it's different from other kinds of drawings you might see, and why it's really important. If you're new around here, hi, I'm Vicky from the Fashion Business Coach, the platform that helps small and startup fashion brands to launch and scale successfully. And each week I create a free video to help you overcome one of the fashion industry struggles that are out there. So if you aren't following along or subscribing already, depending on which channel you're watching on, make sure you do to catch the new video every week. So technical drawings, what are they? Why do you need them? So technical drawings are also known as a flat drawing. I'll put an example on screen, and the reason these are important is because it's in proportion. I'm not saying that the measurements are 100% accurate in a technical drawing, but the proportions are about right. This is crucial because if you've ever seen like a fashion illustration, usually they use very extended proportions. They use something called a 9-head method, which means that the drawing is 9 heads long. This actually isn't accurate in terms of the anatomy of an average human being. The average human being is more likely to be around 7.5 heads. So what this means is a fashion illustration is going to be longer and thinner than the average customer that you're going to be serving. So that's why your technical drawings need to be actual accurate drawings. We can't have a fashion illustration because it's going to misguide the factory. It's going to mean that they'll make the products longer and slimmer, and we want them to fit your target customer, and it's important that your drawings represent the customer that your products are supposed to be fitting, not some kind of idealized like supermodel from the 80s. So that's really, really important with the technical drawings. The reason that the factory need these drawings and why they're so important is because, as you can see in the example that I gave, they are very accurate in terms of showing exactly where the seams are, exactly where the stitch details are, where any trims like buttons or zippers or elastic, anything like that. We want all of those things to be on the technical drawing. That way the factory can clearly see, okay, this is the kind of finish that's happening here, this is where the trims are. This technical drawing is usually going to be on the tech pack. Also super important for factory production, so I'll link to a video on that in case you haven't heard of those before, because they're really, really important. And what happens when these technical drawings go into the tech pack is we're going to be adding on what we call POMs, or points of measure. So the drawing will say, okay, so measure maybe on the neckline from here to here. We'll put an arrow on the drawing so the factory know exactly where we're measuring, and then the tech pack will give the measurements. So as well as the drawing showing visual things, visual placement and proportions and things like that, it's also going to be used as a guide for the actual measurements and specific details within a tech pack as well. If you don't provide these, if you just have a drawing that's on a fashion model, or if maybe it's a drawing that's just a sketch that you've done that doesn't have any trim details or anything like that, it often leads to things getting missed, because if the drawing's not got, for instance, the right zipper on, the factory might think, okay, there's not a zipper on this, or choose the wrong one. There's all kinds of scenarios in which things can go wrong, which is why those technical drawings are really important. A lot of time when people who are new to the fashion industry show me their drawings, they often don't have the seams in correctly, or just don't have them in there at all. And no judgment here. I specialize in working with startups, so I'm here to guide you through that. So no judgment, I don't expect people to know all these things. But the reason I'm highlighting this is because if you give that kind of drawing to a factory, they're not gonna think, oh, I should put a seam in here. They're just gonna follow what you give them exactly. And that's often gonna lead to fit issues, because we need the seams there for construction and to make sure that we get a good fit. So, moral of the story, make sure that if you're doing fashion production of any kind, that you have a technical drawing and a tech pack as well. Again, I'll link to that video if you've not seen it. I hope this video has been helpful and given you some insight into how you can get your products manufactured. If this is something that you still want to learn more about, then I can link to my most popular service below, which is basically created to help people go from idea, like fashion design in their head, to factory ready. So I'll link to that below. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in next week's video. Bye for now.